Hey everybody, it's Miss Jim. You know me, you've seen me before. The red live button's lit up at the top of the screen and you're live, and if it's not, you're on replay, and either way, I'm happy to have you here. This is a private group, I hope. And let me see. Yep, it is a private group. Okay, let me shut myself up. Turn it down. Okay. All right. Let me move this. And move this, and I'm going to sit down. Okay, so Becky's on. That's good. We got one person. Hey, Becky. Let me find comments. Carolyn White's watching. Hey, Carolyn. So glad to have both of you here. It's not showing me nothing, y'all. Not seeing any comments. Say hello or something. Sister Elaine is here. Hey, Regina. Regina's here. Hey, Sister Elaine. Hey, Carolyn. That's 3 people. It says I only have 2 people watching. Okay, well. And Justin, I thought you were live. I thought I saw you doing a pallet sale just a minute ago. Could be wrong. But I'm glad to have you. Hey, Justin. You through the rented tongue. You finished with your being snowed in and no power, I hope? We're supposed to get a storm tonight, y'all. Could start anytime. Yay. But I have plenty to eat, and Andrew lit my pilot light today, so I'll have a heat source in my den if the power goes off. Okay, y'all, we're going to be making these little angels. Now, this one's not finished and not all... Her head's not on straight because I haven't decided whether or not I really like her, but I like the idea. But this is what we're going to make. It's made entirely of paper except for the head, and that's just because I didn't think of a good way to make a head just yet, okay? And this is her halo, and I'm debating putting hair on her, in which case she'll need a bigger halo because this one won't go around big hair. Anyway, this is just a little angel starting at 3 a.m. Well, Carolyn, at least you'll be at home and in bed, right? Okay, so is this something y'all want to make? Because that's what we're doing. Hey, Patsy. This particular one is made on a toilet paper roll. And you can see I started painting it to see, you know, if the words would still show through, and they would. This is, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, y'all. These are sheets of paper from an old family Bible. And before you get upset and start throwing things at me and calling me the spawn of Satan, please understand that I consider the Bible to be a sacred document. I'm using this. I'm making an angel out of it. And it's from, you know, it'll be for my own personal use. But even if I sell it, somebody will treasure it, and the pieces will stay. Anything I cut off of the pages, I burn. You know, because I don't want to throw them away. I don't want to throw away any part of the Bible. So, if you're upset about cutting up a Bible, but literally, y'all, I opened the front cover, and you know, the Bible's about this thick. It's an old family Bible. Oh, I've got about this thick, and when I picked it up, every page in the Bible fell on the floor. They all fell out, and they're all... Oh, okay, Sylvia, we enjoy cooking. That's a worthy thing to do. Anyway, I figured using the pages was better than burning the pages and throwing them all away. If you don't agree, I respect your disagreement, okay? But that's what this is, and you know, you can't tell just by looking at it. You can just see the words. But that's what it is. Now, this one is made on a toilet paper roll, because this is all paper and all stuff that you should have except for the head. Anyway, this is a single on here, and I can do this one too. Should be a taller angel. It may not stand up, and I may work on this one tonight. What do y'all want? Which size do y'all want? Short or tall? I need words. I need words. I don't have any words. While y'all are thinking that, while y'all are trying to come up with some words, I will show you that to make the little start with short. Okay, to make the little cone, and I do it differently every time, but you just take your paper and you Thank you, Deborah. That's what I thought too, and I actually talked to my priest about it, and he said he said the same thing. So I never can remember how I start this. You just sort of twist it around until you get a cone shape. And some of my cone shapes are better than others of my cone shapes. Yeah, we're going to do the short one. Y'all don't want to be here the rest of the night, I know. Anyway, you just make a little cone, and when you have a cone, then you can use any kind of glue you want. I'm just using hot glue because these won't get a lot of... That's not a very good cone, though. I do it differently every time, and then all of a sudden, it sticks. Here, technically, you should have a real tiny opening there. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. I don't wear this much because it's real heavy, but y'all, it was 19 degrees when I woke up this morning, I think. It was cold. Hey, Kathy. Okay, so when you get it the shape you want, assuming you do, y'all, it took me forever to make enough cones to do this because I couldn't remember for 1 minute to the next how I did it. And, okay, there you go. There you go. I don't want that big. Okay, so now we're just going to put it down and roll it. Okay, and then when you get it, you know, semi the way you want it. Hey, Wayne Tolly. There's always one. I don't think everybody's always agreed on anything. It used to frustrate me more than it does, but it does now. But 10 degrees here when Jeff went to work. Wow. Okay, and then you just have this little cone. And you do that again until you have as many cones as you need. And I'm thinking it's going to take about 15 to go around. I think this is 15 cones going around here. And you can see at the bottom that these were really uneven, and I ended up having to cut them off. So, I was looking at something, and I saw some Christmas trees that were made like this. And I thought, could put wings on that, and that would be an angel. And you know, I do love my angels. Okay, so I have a few. Well, if y'all can see this or not, but I have a few pre-made cones. So let me get some of them out. And I think it's helpful if they're roughly the same length. Because all you're going to do is you're going to take, oh yeah, these are going to be too long. Well, we'll just do over you. These are going to be too long. But what you do is, okay, we're going to do it this way. We're going to put it, you know, put it down here. And we're going to, so you want it to stick out a little bit. Tree with wings, always an angel. Oh, thank you. Hola, Manny. The tree with wings, always an angel. I'm far from being an angel, Deb, but thanks. Okay, so you can take it like that. And I'm just folding it over here. I may end up cutting it, but I have it so the tip goes on Cut Your Towel one. That may be an easier thing to do. Except, you know, I kind of like the idea of doing that would be, you know, the easiest thing to do would be to okay, I'm going to try it. You have to flatten one end, and you put it where you want it, and then you just attach it. Like so. And I may cut it off. Well, I'm just going to go around. I'm just going to go for it, y'all. Now, one reason I kind of like the idea of doing more than one row is, well, that's okay, is you can, the second row can hide the gaps in the first row. But I'll cut this down. Don't overthink it. Oh, Kathy, you know my gut tells me all kinds of weird things, so it's hard for me to make up my mind to go with my gut. The most time-consuming part of this is rolling those things, you know, rolling the cones. See, put one up here. Yeah. Now, if you want to, you can paint your paper, you know, do a wash of some sort on it to color your paper, but I wanted y'all to see that this really is paper. And y'all, I have to say it's a little bit easier with the taller thing. It's easier to get the row even. Now you can put these down any way you want to. I'm putting mine, I'm putting mine down. So you got, the cone has a point down here. I'm putting this part touching the surface. And you just go around and around. Manny, I don't do much with paper because I'm not a very precise person. I tried for weeks to learn how to do that star that you did last night. And never did. Never did make it. Now she's beginning to list a little bit. But she'll straighten up when I go all the way around. It's the Leaning Tower of Angel. Okay, so now we have one row, and if we wanted to do another row, I mean, we can cut this off. It's the only the only paper towel roll I have, but you know, we can. So if you want to do a short one, you can just cut it off here, and I would take, I think, just a little piece of this. Just a little piece of the paper. And Manny, I need to get one of those bone things. To make sharp creases, because my creases aren't sharp enough, and I know that. Just put this around there. Or you would if you had enough paper. Okay, let me get a longer sheet of paper. Sorry, y'all. Is anybody else trying this, or are you just watching? This is an Old Testament angel. Okay, Old Testament. It's in Exodus. She is Exodus and y'all, I'm just blanking the first one. Now this will just be a little belt. This would just be a little belt if this were going to be this was going to be on a toilet paper, I mean on a paper towel. So, you know, if we do the taller one, this would be just a belt. If you're doing the toilet paper roll one, then it is her neck. Sort of. Okay, so now if you were going to go further, you would put another one up here, and you know, so it's not as long, and that would cover up some of the, you know, I should have painted in there, but I didn't. Anyway, that's what we've got. So if we want to stick here, y'all still want to stick with the little one, we can do that. So if I'm, you know, I'm going to use a toilet paper roll because I'm just going to do another one because I really want to do the taller one at some point. This one's going to be a little different because these are too tall. Can roll underneath with, I can. That's a good idea. That's a great idea, Wayne. It's one I should have thought of before I did this. It's going to have to be, that's a great idea. I'll do, in fact, I'm going to go ahead right now and do that on this. And no matter how many times I try it, this is not a long enough page. This is. All right, so if you hadn't started yet, get you a page. And I mean, you can paint it if you want to, but it's just as easy, probably easier to get a page. Thank you, Wayne. That was a brilliant idea. Is you just roll the page around it. Oh, that's why they pay. That's why they pay Wayne the big bucks. There, now she's got some clothes on. Feel much better with an angel with clothes on. And see what I'm doing here, since this is too tall and I just don't want to cut anymore, I'm just measuring it to the height I want. And I want her skirt to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to let it stand out. And then I'm going to glue it down inside the tube, like so. Well, maybe I'll do it outside the tube too, just a little bit at the top. Okay, so it looks like that. And then you keep just going around. Manny, this doesn't look like your paper angels, I know. But they're mine, and you know, they're okay. I like them. I like them. Oh, wow, I don't like that one. Actually, another advantage to putting the thing around the bottom is it won't take as many to go around, because it just looks like it's a continuation of her clothes. So see where you can see through it, it really is okay. But I may put another, let me see. I may put, okay. Now I've only done one of these, and that's the one I showed you to begin with, and so it's still a work in progress. But you know, it really is kind of fun. And, you know, you can just, you know, when you have nothing else to do and you're watching TV or something, you can always just roll paper. Roll paper into cones. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a second row around here. Your comments keep disappearing, Becky. Mine do that all the time. It drives me nuts. It's especially crazy making when I'm trying to respond to comments, trying to see what people say. Well, if you did not watch Manny last night making a Bethlehem star, hey Jeffrey, then the replay's there. And I didn't like that one. The replay's there and will be, I hope, forever. But go watch it because he's such a good teacher. Makes me want to do better. Doesn't make me do better, it just makes me want to. Okay, so I've got one more to go in here. Still don't like that one. It's worth watching. I think even I might be able to do that, maybe. Okay, so that goes all the way around. But what I think I'm going to do, because you can see a little bit more of her underwear than I want you to, is I'm thinking about going, you know, doing another row. Is anybody else doing this? Those are the ones I don't like. Yeah, a fill-in roll. Yeah, I think we need a fill-in roll. I don't like the way that's doing. No, I'll have to fix that. I've lost count of how many of these I've done. I mean, how many of these I've used. Uh-oh. You're back. Yeah, you just got yelled at if you knew. Okay, you got yelled at. I'm sorry. I did put it in the supply list though, a toilet paper roll. Some of these I'm going to have to fool around with and get them a little bit more even. Now I have to put it back on the roll. Yes, I could. Oh, I could put lace over it under it, but I kind of wanted this to be pretty much all paper. You know, stuff that everybody has. Because we all have paper, right? But there's her body. she's a big girl, y'all. Okay, now let me get a big piece of paper because we already know that's not going to go around. Wonder what I do. Strange. Strangeness here. Strangeness going on. So I'm just getting another piece of paper and I'm cutting. That's about an inch. Folding over about an inch, and then I'm cutting it off as a double. I'll just cut it off, and then I'm going to get these top, get the top of it as flat as I can. I'm going to glue that down. Okay, now let's try this again. I'll just start it. Okay. Put a little glue in the back. Attach it right at the top. Actually, let's let it go up a little bit. Let me see something. Where's her head? Yeah, we're going to attach it right at the top. Just up a little bit. I've got about a quarter of an inch. About a quarter of an inch taller than no, I'm not good at circles. I'm not good at circles at all. Okay, so now she's got a neck and a place that her head just kind of neatly fits into. Sort of neatly. Sort of neatly fits into it. Now, if I were putting a crown on, I would put, if I were putting lights in it, I would put this end down to run the light up through there, but I'm not. So I'm going to put that end, I'm going to hide it. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think the easiest way to do this is just to run a little bead of hot glue around the top. And hope I can get her head on there before the glue dries. Okay, let me get this. Anybody say anything? Just keep trusting the process, the angel too. And so far, she hadn't talked to me a whole lot. But I like her. I think she's a sweetie. I do like her. And so far, she's all paper except for that. Now for wings, you can use any kind of wings you want, obviously. It's your angel, not mine. But if you want to do the paper all the same, then you can cut. Now I'm making this part up. I think you can do this. I'm going to cut. How am I going to do this? This may be roughly wingish. Now, all I did was I kept the space about this big. I'll show you. And because what I've been doing is folding it over and then squishing it, but that doesn't work real well. So I just cut it so it looks like that, and that's going to be way too flimsy. Okay, let's try it smaller. Let's try it smaller. You see what I'm saying? If you can make them the way I made this one, is I just scrunched it together, but I don't like the way that looks. So now I'm trying it where I'm folding it in fours. Y'all, and this is the same size paper I used to make the cones. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a neck. I mean, a little bit of a tab. I'm not going to cut it all the way. Oh, you know, I doubled that up. I did. Double that up. Okie dokie. I don't think that's what I meant to do. But that'll make it stronger. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put some glue down, if I can find the glue. And I'll have a double wing. It'll be stronger. But Manny, is this the Elmer's glue you use? It's extra strong formula? Apparently I'm not going to use any glue at all because it won't come out. There, now it will. Glue won't come out. Are y'all talking? Ooh, that would look good. You have a stir stick to go between the wings. Well, she is shy. Who's shy? tear these apart, because that's actually a success. So I'm going to try this. I'm just putting a little glue right there and where the fold is. Well, that's fanned a little bit. What she wants. I'm trying to figure out, see, this has got that seam in it. I'm trying to figure it out so it doesn't go down the middle of her face. If I put it here. Oh, see, that's right where I didn't want to put it. Let me just hold it. Okay, so she's got her little wings. She's got little wings. Or a little bow, depending on how you want to, what you want to call it. And I got hair out. I don't know if we want hair or not, but I got it out just in case we did. We didn't get much hair out. I think she needs more hair than that, y'all. Can you cut, oh, curl the wings a little? Yeah. Well, I could have. I don't know if I can or not. Y'all need to have these great ideas before I put things together, because well, let me see. She is a sweet little angel, isn't she? And you don't have to use hair, or you can use twine. You can cut twine out, just, you know, for hair. Or she doesn't have to have hair at all. Now, I don't know if this is what you meant by curling or not, but that's the best I can do. But we need to go that way. Which way they need to go? Is that what you meant by curling the wings? Fan the wings. Yes, yep. What does that look like? I can't tell. And that's not where I wanted it anyway. Where did I have this? I had it there. Okay. It could, yeah. If you have a shredder, it can be made, yeah, you could make it paper with that. I mean, make wings or hair that way. You can use all kinds of things. I just thought about this hair, but you know what else I could use as hair? So I've got this paper confetti stuff. And it could be put up here as hair, but I don't think I've got that much time, y'all. And I don't have that much skill. That's for my Easter eggs. It's too much hair. Let me start with this I can add. Do we want her to have hair? So enough. Yeah, you know, those big Justin hugs. You love it with hair? Okay, good. 'Cause I think I'm going to put some hair on her, but you know, the only way I know how to do this is to wad it up. Like the hair. Maybe the hairstylist you knew is going to cringe at watching me style her hair. Because first you gotta put glue on her head. You gotta burn her head, and then you just plop it on there. Yep, hair with halo. All the best dressed angels. You know, her halo is going to be this same paper. You know, you put her hair on, and then you kind of, it takes a lot of glue. Because you want to cover up, you don't want her having bald spots. Well, I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't. You have to be as careful with your glue as with the hair as you do with the hot glue, y'all, or the fake fur, because it's the same kind of plastic stuff, and if you get hot glue and the hair on all at the same time, you're going to have a little problem. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Let me pull this around. See, I want some hair in front of her. Well, that one dry. You want to be careful. You don't want to stick your hand in. Fortunately, it was cool enough that it didn't burn, but I'm just trying to get some hair around her face. This hair is stuff you just kind of have to mess around with it a little bit until you get it the way you want it. And then if you're me, you mess around with it some more until you don't like it anymore, and then you have to keep going. And see, I knew a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. Okay, now let's cover up her bald spots. Is this anything anybody would like to try to do if you're not doing it now? Just trying to think of things that, that uses materials that everybody has for the most part. Oh, my dog's ready to come in and eat. Can you hear him out there? We want to do an angel and a tree. You do the tree the same way. You just roll up your cones and you put them on there. And if you want a taller tree, then I'll show you in a minute. You just layer it. Okay, I'm going to fuss with the hair some more. And I don't want that little curl right in the middle of her forehead. Okay, now let's worry about a crown. Hope we're going to get a long one for that too. Spray paint it with gold. Wait, where'd my comment go? Spray paint gold with diamond dust on it. That would, well, she's still got a little curl coming down here. You're going to have little curls coming down no matter what you do. Get off of there. Okay, now this is just a page with the edges cut off and cut in half. So the page of the Bible was twice this size, and I just cut it in half. Now to make her halo, don't want it to be real big. Again, just about an inch, maybe. Doggone it, she keeps getting the same old bald spot back here. You know, if you have little pieces, parts of hair that's been cut off, you can always stick them in to cover a bald spot. The higher the hair, the closer to God. She's right there. That's true. That's exactly right. You can't get a whole lot closer than being an angel, y'all. How's that? Okay. Hello. Y'all, I've used a whole stick of glue trying to get her hair right. And I'm gonna put another glue stick in. I just glued the edges together because, you know, so that it doesn't flop around. And I'm gonna come around and make a circle. And we'll let the circle dry. What am I missing? Am I missing anything? Any questions? Need to make your dress like that. Yeah, I would hate to wear it on a rainy day. Can you still see her wings? Yeah, you can see her wings from the front. You just can't see them from the back. It's got kind of a wonky halo. See them straight? Let me see. Got long hair. Okay, and see if you wanted to paint her. I think she's actually kind of cute. You could put something right there if you wanted to do an embellishment. You could put something. I don't have any over here. Let me go get something real quick. I'll be right back. All I'm thinking. Let's see. That's too big. Y'all, I had something in my, oh, there it is. I've got this little square. This is Totally Dazzle Rose Gold, and I'm going to put this right in front under her chin, and that's going, so she'll have a little bit of embellishment. Now, depending on how fancy you want her, she can have, you know, a whole color of Totally Dazzled. And there she is. What do you think? Let me get back to where I can see comments. Oh, good. I was afraid. Thank you, Justin. I was afraid to tell y'all that I cut up a family Bible, but y'all, it was on the floor. It was either burn it in the bonfire or use it for something. And I think probably if I do mini crafts with this and I sell any at auction, then whatever profit I'm made on it will be donated to charity, I think, rather than me making money off my family Bible. That's what I'm thinking. So, you know, if I sold her, I would probably give any extra money to charity. Okay, so that's that one. Now, to do the layers, if you want to do a tree or a taller angel, you know, we did this around, and then you go about halfway up from that layer, and you put another layer down. And then to finish it off, you'd go up to the top and you'd have yet another layer. So this would take 3. Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see what I mean? Well, only you put them on straight. Does that make sense? And then everything else would be the same for an angel. And if you were doing a tree, then you could put a star up here. Why am I not seeing comments? Y'all, all my comments have gone back to the beginning. Yeah, hymnals would be great for this. Hymnals would be a real good thing for this. And, you know, if you wanted to do one for Easter, you could do the Easter story. I mean, nobody's going to know because you can't really read this stuff. But it's, that's what we've got. Did anybody do one? Elaine, I think that would be a wonderful use of your mother's old hymnals. There's another one back here. Wait a minute. You know, her skirt's getting all wonky now. Get back there, skirt. Okay, what do y'all think? Is this something you're going to do? You're going to try? What do you think? I think you did too. You know, I'm in the process of going through everything and trying to put things where they belong. You love the craft. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I love her too. Okay, yeah, y'all try it. And let's see. Let me see. What can I give away? What would y'all like me to give away? Does anybody want to come live and show us anything or talk about anything before we get off? And I can't do that because I don't have all my comments, y'all. The angel. You want the angel, okay. For the Playboy tokens, yeah, you didn't know me when I weighed 230 pounds. I didn't get any Playboy tokens. No Playboy tokens. Well, I'm glad y'all like her. I think she's kind of cute. I like her too. So I'll take a picture of it, and I'll do another one that's not so hard. The hardest part, y'all, is rolling up the cones. And you can see that some cones have the seam in the front. I didn't pay much attention to any of that. You can paint them. This is just painted. Justin, that sounds like a question. I don't. Justin wants to know anything in particular anybody wants to see made next week. I think I'm gonna figure out what size cone to make this and slide her on the skirt. I made a tube out of this paper. Anybody got ideas for Justin? Mixed media project. I love mixed media, y'all. I think mixed media is a wonderful thing. But if you think about it, just about everything we do is mixed media. This isn't so much. Painting rocks, rock painting. I've never tried to paint a rock. Well, I've tried to, but with limited success. I think I made my tube a little bit too small. No, I didn't. Okay, thanks to Wayne, the problem solved. She has underwear on now. Okay, that's so I'm going to finish her off and do another, do a taller one. I'm not going to waste your time doing that tonight because it's the same process we've just done. Rock art and adding other things. Yeah, maybe a Valentine's thing. That's a good idea. Okay. And see, pieces of, oh, that actually would be kind of a nice wing. That might, that would make kind of a nice wing, wouldn't it? But the pieces that I don't use, like these little shards, because it is a Bible, and at some point or another, the Bible was probably blessed by somebody. I don't want to just throw anything away. So these little pieces, parts that I'm not going to use for anything else, I've got a bag started, and I will burn them. I don't know where my bag is right offhand. Oh, here. See, I've got a bag. These are all the pieces, parts that I've done, and I just put all these little shards in here and burned them at some point, and say a little prayer as they go up. Don't use spare pieces for ATC cards. I can. I'm kind of over that now, but I can. But I'll use something. Actually, some of these pieces could be used. Where I cut off. Real cheap, this could have been hair. Be weird, funky hair, but it could have been hair. But if I cut these off, these are the edges that I cut off. But see, this is almost thin enough to make hair with. But anyway, all this will be used or burned, one or the other. It will not be just tossed in the trash. So. Okay. See, nobody ringing the doorbell. So nobody wants to come in. So y'all, this is what we did tonight. And I hope you'll do it, and I hope you'll post pictures of the ones that you do. And I just think she's kind of sweet. Or she's looking to one side. I can't do any, I can't put anything on straight, but she's kind of looking to one side. I hope everybody has an amazing night too. I hope everybody stays warm and that everybody's power stays on. And I'm talking to mine now. Stay on, and y'all stay in if you can, because it's going to be cold, cold, cold. It's getting down way below 20 tonight here, I think. So, thank you, Elaine. I can't draw for names because I only have about, 5. But I'll give y'all double next time, maybe. Good night, Wayne. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week when it's Justin's turn. Give him whatever ideas you want to. And I would love some ideas too, because, I'm kind of out. Okay, y'all. Remember, somebody in Alabama loves you. It's me. This is not... Yay, it worked. Whoa. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Remember, somebody in Alabama loves you. It's me, and you're never alone. That's from Justin. Okay, y'all, I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Edible underwear next week. Woohoo! Okay, bye, y'all. On that note.